Question number 7. Jenny can mow her lawn in 2.5 hours by herself. When working with her brother, they can mow the same lawn together in 1.8 hours. How long would it take Jenny's brother to mow the lawn by himself? So let's go ahead and highlight some key pieces of information. So we know that Jenny would take 2.5 hours. We know that together they will take 1.8 hours. And the question is asking us, how long would it take Jenny's brother to mow the lawn? So we would have explored the concept of work, calculating work time. So it's combined over individual plus combined over individual. And that should be equal to 1. So let's go ahead and use that information to set up our equation. So we know together it should be 1.8 hours, and Jenny would take 2.5 hours. And when we add that to 1.8 over x, which is Jenny's brother's, how long it would take him to mow the lawn, that we don't know, represented with x, it should still equal 1. Now, to solve this part of the equation like we've been doing, we're going to focus on the left side of the equation to simplify it into just one fraction. So over here, we multiply by x over x, and here we're going to multiply by 2.5 over 2.5. And so what that will give us is 1.8x over 2.5x plus 1.8 times 2.5 over 2.5 times x, and that should still be equal to 1. Now that we have the denominators on the left side being the same, I could go ahead and simplify it. So I know it should be 1.8x plus, and 1.8 times 2.5 will give me 4.5, and this will be over 2.5x equal 1. Now, let me just go ahead and put that. It's the same thing as 1 over 1. But what I want us to do is to remain consistent in terms of how we know how to solve rational equations. Let's do the same thing here. So, of course, we said that if we have the denominators being the same in the equation, then we can clear the denominators. So, in order to clear the denominator, it means that I'm going to go ahead and multiply over here by 1 over 1, and I'm going to multiply over here by 2.5x over 2.5x. And I simplify it. Nothing will change on the left side because I multiplied by 1. So that's 1.8x plus 4.5 over 2.5x. And since this is 1 over 1 multiplied by 2.5x over 2.5x, is just 2.5x over 2.5x. Denominators are still the same, so we can clear the denominators and work with only the numerators. Just put the screen here. So we have the numerator. I'm just labeling it so we know what we're working with. So from the numerator, I know that it's going to be 1.8x plus 4.5 equal 2.5x. And so let's go ahead and solve. Since I have a 2.5x over here, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 1.8x from both sides. And so when you do that, those will eliminate, leaving just the 4.5 on this side of the equation equal to, and the 2.5x minus 1.8x is going to leave 0.7x. And now remember, our aim is to get x by itself, so we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by 0.7. And by so doing, these two will cancel off, leaving just x. And when we divide 4.5 by 0.7, we get 6.4. And so based on our calculation, this is saying that it would take Jenny's brother 6.4 hours to mow the lawn by himself. to mow the lawn by himself. Now, what that does is that, no, from here rather, we can use Desmos to check our work. So we got 6.4. Let's go ahead, pull up Desmos and see what happens there. So let's go. So in the interest of time, I went ahead and populated Desmos. So here I have the left side of the equation that we initially created, which is 1.8 over 2.5 plus 1.8 over x, and the other side, which is y equal 1. So when I turn that one off, that's what my graph looks like. Here it is, a rational function. And here we have, so in order to find our solution, it will be where our graph intersects. Of course, we're not going to look anywhere on the left side of the y-axis because that's not going to help us. However, when we look on this side, which is the right side of our graph, we see that our graphs intersect at this point, and the x value is at 6.429. However, 6.4 works. And so there you see that your answer is correct. So of course, this is something that from under test conditions, once you've created your equations, you can always use Desmos to just find the answer. Since on a test or on your EOC, you're really working against time, okay? But we want to make sure that you understand what it is that you are doing. And so hence the reason I went through the working with you. But if you know how to use your technology, always feel free to use it. And we are at the end of question number 7.